Are you ready?
Hello everybody, we're here at Komiya in Little Tokyo. This is my favorite bookshop. It has all the manga you could shake a stick at. This place is great. It's got English, it's got Japanese, a lot of imported stuff. I just want to show you some of the great stuff. So if you read Japanese, katakana, kanji, hiragana, you can read these guys. So these are all like in Japanese, but they also have ones in English here as well. I'm going to pick up Monster because I need the third volume of that book. Over there, show you. So they've got also like some English published stuff here. They've got a little bit. You'll see like some image books, things like that. IDW, there's a couple of illustration books, but they also have a really great selection of art books, design stuff. They've got these really great figure position books. Here's like a whole Junji Ito section, which I really am a big fan of his. And if you look over here, this is a great, so here's like these really great reference books. They've got basically anything you can think of as far as like different, places like classrooms, office rooms, historical buildings. Here's like school classrooms, and it's just pages and pages and pages of references. So you can like do your manga, you do your art project with all that. And they got like just a wall of it. And they also have for the human figure. So they have like, and they're a little pricey. Like here, this one, I actually wanted to get this hyper angle one. So this is like $40, but it's just full of hyper angles of figures, right? So they have, female ones, different pose. They've got, guys, they've got battle-y ones, fighting. They're just really great as far as like seeing all the different, and then they got like some kind of anime stuff here as well. So this is like a great place if you got some coin to come down and get like your reference and photo stuff. And then they've got more just pictorial kind of some cartooning stuff as well. But yeah, this is where I love to come here whenever I get a chance to come to Little Tokyo and check out. I can't read Japanese, so I have to stick with the English stuff. But they've got pretty much, they've got it all here, or they can get it all if they don't have it all. Let me also show you some of the art supplies, but they've got some great art supplies here too. But here's like some original pages. So this is really neat. Kind of see some original pages, artwork. If we go over here to the artwork, I'll show you the supplies. So as far as like comic pens and stuff like that, they've got pretty good selection of everything. They've got tons of microns. You've got your brushes, you can do watercolor, all your ink washes, stuff like that here. They've got deleter. This is where I've got my deleter stuff, my G-nibs and Croquil. So here's your G-nibs and things like that. They've got paper. So I got my deleter paper here, and they should have screen tones too. So you can pick up some screen tones, which is nice. I actually like this comic paper. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was kind of a nice. It's a little bit smaller than the normal, but it's pretty good. And they got tons of fountain pens. They actually have a nice fountain pen selection. I bought some fountain pens here too. They got the Lammies, all the German stuff, which I like. They got Calco as well, Pilots, of course. So if you want to get some pens and ink, this is the place to go. And then there's like a whole wall of journals. This is like one of my favorite shops, like legit. You get all your art supplies, you can look at books, it's got it all. So I'm gonna stop being a nuisance to everybody and just turn this off, but I want to show you this great shop here in Little Hey everybody, it's me, Andres. Welcome to the Art of Comics. As you can see, I'm wearing my Astro Boy jacket, which means one thing. We're talking manga, Japanese manga. We're talking about Japanese storytelling through the medium of comics, and I am so excited about talking about Hiroya Oku's Gantz. I got this omnibus. I've not seen. I know there was like this has been super popular. There's been numerous animated series, live action series. Gantz is kind of Oku's like big thing. He's done other works, but this is the one I think that really like went gangbusters. And so I picked it up on Amazon. What is this? It was like $20. And what I love about manga is this. You get a huge thing like this. Now, for $20, you also could get like, is Ronin even $20? How much is this? Oh yeah, so here's the same price, right? Ronin, which, hang on, Ronin's good. Which is funny because Ronin is kind of manga-esque, but look at that. You see that? Now, you might say, yeah, you've got tons of papers here, but it takes 30 pages to get through him walking down the street, right? Where in this, in 2 pages, you have a huge battle. So there's a different level of like, of deconstruction or of compression or decompression of the storytelling, right? But anyway, I do love that it's a bunch of pages. That's just kind of fun. I just think of the effort and the work it takes to make something like this, because you're talking about a story that, this takes hours and hours to make, and yet this is not even the begin. This is like the beginning of this story. I don't even understand what this is about yet. So let me just start at the beginning. So as far as themes and story, it's hard to tell, honestly. It's not as, simplistic as a hero's journey. We do have a main protagonist. He is a little bit of an outsider, which is kind of classic trope. But he and his schoolmate get killed. And the instant they're killed, they're kind of teleported into this room with other people who are killed in the moment. Right before they die or right as they die, they get transported in this place, this kind of empty room, and it has this big globe in the middle. And this big globe in the middle, right, gives them weapons and gives them instructions to go kill some sort, like here's like, they're in this room and there's like this big globe, right? And it's giving them instructions to, okay, you have to go and kill this alien, right? And there's this hidden alien called the onion eating boy, and you have to take him out. So there's these like pockets of aliens, that are somewhat disguised or, in our society. And somehow this Gantz system gives you this little super suit, give you some abilities. You got some different types of weapons, and you got to go kill, right? And if you kill them, you get some points. Maybe the points means you get to go off and live your life normally. Maybe we don't know, right? So there's a lot of mystery. There's a lot of like uncertainty as to the morality of this. I mean, what's nice is there is a lot of morality in this, and similar to something like Death Note, right? Where in Death Note, the idea was, is it okay to kill someone if they're a murderer, right? If they're a bad guy, and but then that goes into what does that do to you playing God, right? So this is kind of similar in that regard as far as the morality of like killing people or things. And then, of course, there's a competition element to this, because if they all work together, maybe you don't get as many points. What does that mean? And there's some strange sexuality in this, too. There's this character here who's just really sexualized, which is not uncommon, but it's a little odd. I mean, and there is some, like, full-on nudity, things like that in here. It's a little weird. It's just really, she's just this object of desire for these high school kids so far. I think that will change
as we understand, because then after the little assignment, they can leave and then they find out somehow they're ghosts, or somehow there's another version of them that's in their life. So maybe they're outside. It's bizarre. I don't understand it. But I liked it. So I didn't understand it all. It's kind of fun. It's not as good as, say, Monster. Monster's a lot more like plot. I really like Monster a lot. And of course, Junjito, Planetes. I'm a huge fan of Planetes. And some of those mangas. But I like this better than, say, Berserk. I might get a bunch of backlash for that. I didn't really care for Berserk that much. I only read, though, 200 pages, so maybe I needed to get a couple more volumes. That's another good thing about these big ones is you do get enough to say, okay, I know what I like. Whereas with traditional manga, after 100 pages, you might not still know if you like it enough. You might need more. Let me turn the camera over to show you some of the art. The art's really good. It's really kind of interesting, the way he melds the kind of tech stuff. He's really good at the tech stuff. So it's kind of fun to see the tech work and what he did and how he put it together. And they also use a lot of computer stuff, which is kind of fun and interesting in here. So let's go and turn the camera over, show you a little bit of that for the omnibus version of Gantz Volume 1. Let's go do it. Check it out. Okay, we're not going to spend too much time here, but I did want to show you some of the artwork I felt was interesting. Yeah, here's this character, this young girl who, again, it's a little bizarre. But what is neat, they do have, when they come into this room, they come in almost like digitized, like a 3D printer. And so you see the kind of cutaways, which is kind of interesting as they enter the room. The artwork it's really well done. Let me find some pages. I mean, you can see some of the kind of the weaponry that they have here, which is kind of neat. This is that onion boy or whatever they called him. I'm not going to say there's anything that blows you away art-wise, but all these comics I've been talking about are they're very good. They're all. I'm not showing you guys stuff that's not excellent. But I wouldn't say this is like, oh, you got to get it because the art is superb. It's good. Yeah, I like all the techie stuff. I really do. I like all these like designs, and I think all these were done in computer. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, I just like all this like kind of stuff. There's her. So she appears naked, and the reason why she's naked is because she was committing suicide in the bathtub. So she's wet, and so we get that kind of deal. But I mean, it's just her. So yeah, her sliced wrists. You know, and so that was kind of, see this little like, that's kind of neat, just visually how they did that. But yeah. Even though I've read all this whole thing, we still don't know much about what's going on. And there is this kind of relationship that begins to bloom here, which is kind of interesting. But the bike gangs are kind of cool too. So that's the art. Pretty good, pretty well done, well crafted, as you can imagine. Something that's popular would be done. So there you go. That's the review, and thanks for watching. Take care, guys.